All right, Nick, once again, let's talk about the Colorado Buffs. Just a few short days ago, we talked about how Colorado got an absolutely massive 5-star offensive line guy, and he is going to help them build for the trenches. That is what they need to focus on. But Colorado, that is not the only move they make. There's a bunch of moves they've made between then and now, and we kind of want to go over it, but the most recent being that of a 4-star wide receiver, getting the skill positions. We know they're very good at getting great skill position players, but let's start there and then we'll work our way through all of the tweets. First up from Hayes Fawcett at On3 Sports. He says, breaking 4-star wide receiver Draylon Miller tells me he's committed to Colorado. The top 70 recruit in the 24 class was previously committed to Texas A&M. And Miller reportedly said, get ready, we coming. So this is good. Colorado focusing on Texas A&M, head coaching, change there. A bunch of stuff going on at Texas A&M. Took advantage, able to flip a 4-star wide receiver. Now coming to Colorado, and I think that's big. I think that's going to be great for Colorado, but that's not really even the best part because between about Thursday and now, there have been so many offensive line moves for the Buffs. I think Deion Sanders is really building this team and getting them ready to be big-time contenders. Let's get into the next tweet. It says, Colorado offensive line recruiting since Thursday. Number 1 offensive tackle in the 2024 class, Jordan Seaton. A UConn transfer, Yakiri Walker. Indiana transfer, Khalil Benson. UTEP transfer, Justin Mayers. Houston transfer, Tyler Johnson. Coach Prime is building the trenches. Nick, all of these guys like 6'3 plus, 6'4, 6'5, 6'6, 6'6, all about 300 pounds. Colorado is going to have a great wall of China in the trenches. No one is going to be able to penetrate this thing. I think it's really smart by Coach Prime. He said, hey, we know we could score points. Defense is a whole different issue. What's the next thing that we can fix right now? Get the offensive line going. Let's get everything building in the trenches and move things forward. And that is just what they did. I'm curious, Nick, what your thoughts are on all of this and what it means for Colorado Buffs fans. Let us know. So far, what do you think of this early recruiting class? We haven't even gotten to the 20th December, which is early signing day. Let us know so far. What do you think of Coach Prime's plan in building in this recruiting class? But Nick, what do you got on all of this for Colorado?
So I think there's a couple things to understand. You brought up that list of all the transfer linemen they're bringing into the fold. And again, it speaks to the strategy of big-time college football these days. If you're looking for immediate returns at any position group, you go to the transfer portal, right? Colorado obviously has their quarterback. They got a lot of great skill guys for 2024. Their weakness, and it was very obviously so, was in the trenches. You need a short-term fix there. You go out and get a 5-star. He's going to play right away. And then you go out and bring in a lot of transfers to compete and most likely play a lot of big-time football come the 2024 regular season. So again, it's a smart strategy. You need a big-time short-term reversal up front. You go out and use the transfer portal to address that, mainly use the transfer portal. That's what it's used for. But if you look at the long-term health of the program, in any program, it's about recruiting. And here's the interesting thing. According to 24/7 Sports, Colorado right now has the 53rd, ranked recruiting class in 2024. They're in between Oklahoma State, who went to a conference title game, and Louisville, who went to a conference title game. And they only have 10 commits right now. Other schools like Oklahoma State has 16, Louisville has 14. So again, they're ranked where they are at 53, and they've got an opportunity to really rise up the rankings as they get more commits, as they fill out their future class. And I think that's the great sign for Colorado, because to be this highly recruited or this highly ranked in the recruiting game is a pretty good indicator that Coach Prime's magic is not gone. Because remember, this was a last place Pac-12 team in 2022, and they were a last place Pac-12 team this past season in 2023. If you're a last place team, you really shouldn't be able to go out and recruit like this. You really shouldn't go out and be able to get transfers like this. That speaks to the magic of Coach Prime and his entire coaching staff, to be totally honest. There is still momentum behind this program. Coach Prime is capitalizing on it. I think that's a great sign for both 2024 and the long term as well.
Yeah, Nick, and we talked about it. They are last place. They were last place last year. They were last place this year. But look at the turnaround already. They've got 4 wins this season. I mean, heck, that is way better than having 1 win last season. I mean, what could you want? I think Colorado, they turn things around with this. If they get 7, 8 wins, if they're bowl eligible, This is a massive win for Colorado because I think we've talked about this a couple times. At the beginning of the season, we saw Colorado, they come out hot, they get some exciting early wins, and everyone's like, wow, this could be a national championship team. It could be a team that runs the Pac 12 forever. But yep, yada, yada, keep going. But we are all too quick. You have to understand this is a 1 in 10 team. It really was very difficult to turn around. Coach Prime has done a great job so far. I think he's showing he has a plan. So if he can turn 1 win into 4, if he turns 4 wins into 7, 8 wins, I think that would be a massive success for Colorado. All accounts say he is in Colorado for the long haul. He wants to stay here for a while. But I think he wants to try to build something special here. And I think this is a great plan just early on, hitting the recruiting, but also bolstering your ranks with the transfer guys. I think Colorado has a great plan here. I'm excited to see what they do on the 20th going into that early signing day. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises here for Colorado. Once again, we all remember what he was able to do last season. I just want to keep my eyes on that because I think that we're going to be in for a big, big change once again at Colorado.
Well, again, I don't want to be like too negative about what he did, but that's just reality. They were last place team last
Oh,
year.
yeah.
But my point is that they're recruiting and getting transfers like this, even though they were a last place team last season. Like normally this time of year, you hear about the teams that we've done a number of stories about them on our channel, teams going to the playoff, teams going to big time bowl games. This is the time of the year those programs really rake in all the recruits and the commits because they just won conference titles or they just won big games. Now's the time of the year where the teams did not do well, where they usually struggle in recruiting department. Colorado's proving under Coach Prime to be the exception rather than the rule here. And I think that's a great sign for them going forward.